All right, well, it is a week and a day after this cab showed back up here at Burns Brothers Performance. It's got stuff bolted to it. It's got wires and hoses running through it.
Tucks right up in there and barely noticeable when it's up. You know, if this step was flat,
right?
it wouldn't be falling off.
Who do we complain to about that?
Me. There's no motor on it yet.
Oh. All right, let's look at this thing.
Yeah, so new steering column stubbed to the firewall. Got the CPP hydro boost brakes.
I think they call it branding. It's branding.
They definitely wanted their name out there on those.
Even the knob.
Yeah. Got that mounted up and plumbed. I still have to run the lines to the power steering pump. Pretty nice setup. You know, the original brake booster, kind of funny how they did it. It kind of actually angled down, kind of a weird setup. It's super bulky. Honestly, don't even know how that would have worked out with the big block tall valve covers. So pretty happy about that. Got a few of the wires here hanging, a little bit of a mess right now for the steps. Got the controller mounted. I will say the only thing I really like about their controller is you actually have to mount it via zip ties. There's no bracket for it. It would have been nice if it had a couple tabs for some, just some screws would have been kind of nice, but it's actually pretty secure. I just think it's kind of phony with the zip ties, but I'll get the steps wired in. Actually ran the wires to the back and ran an extra wire for brake controller in the future if we wanted to put one on there. Radiator stuff's all mounted. I am in the process of changing out some of the fittings for the AC because the AC compressor used to be up here and it had 90-degree fittings, so we're going to one straight, 145, and then these will get swapped out, crimped on. This will lay in here a little nicer. I'm going to shorten this hose here. It's just kind of janky how they didn't really, when they originally built this truck, some of the detail stuff, like this hose is way too long. So I'm going to shorten that, put a new fitting on this end, clean this up. I'm going to get some of those, the heat shrink clamps for this thing to get rid of these hose clamps, so it cleans this up a little bit. Yeah, get the valve covers powder coated and a couple of things. I want to change this out. Don't really like how I laid that out, but yeah, it's coming together. I had to put an inner fender in here so I could cut the steps, so that's why this one's in here, so I knew how long to make the step. But yeah, really happy with how it's coming together. It's coming together pretty fast. Actually, we got some snow days the other day, so they shut down our job, so I was able to get a few more days in on this thing. So,
All right, George, tell us about the steps.
so this bolt-on kit is produced by Engineered Vintage. They are out of Damascus, Oregon here, and so it's just two plates basically, C channels, and one goes on the inside, one goes on the outside, and they just bolts on the top of the frame and the bottom of the frame. And I actually had to modify the front bracket, the inside, because we moved the engine forward 2 inches. So obviously it moved the cross member forward 2 inches, so their kit didn't work with that setup, which is fine. It's not a them problem. It's something I did to put the big block in it. But it was really easy. I just cut half the bracket and then bolted the backside to the frame instead. But it comes with these brackets as well. And then the kit for the step is it's an amp step, and the amp step comes with basically all this stuff, and the bracket for the motor is right here. The motor's not on it yet. They tell you to put it all together without the motor so you can cycle it up and down, and I will do that now.
Yeah, show us how that works.
But yeah, it just tucks right up in there.
Very nice.
Obviously, and then when you open the door, just like all the new trucks, the step comes out. You shorten the step, 45 inches I think was the number. They tell you to check your own truck, but 45 inches is what they did, and it worked out on this truck the same. So,
And this truck's tall. I mean, we'll show it from the top real quick, but
it's a really slick setup.
Yeah.
This is going to be a total game changer to be able to get in and out of a truck like this, to be able to step on this. Yeah, super nice kit. We actually were going to go with a different setup that used the Chevy step, that you had to weld the tube steel in here and all that stuff. And then I ended up finding these guys that had this bracket kit, and it was extremely easy to install.
Engineered Vintage. All
Yeah.
right.
Yep, very cool product. They do other stuff too, billet grills and stuff like that. So
Cool.
check them out.
All right.
Yeah, so again, it just tucks right up in there and barely noticeable when it's up.
Very
And,
nice.
yeah, just like the rest of them, when you open the door, pops out. So really happy with the product. Super fast shipping. Probably deal with them again if I ever do another truck like this. So
Let's hear it for an Oregon-based company.
yeah, for sure.
Nice.
So on these Chevy pickups, this area is pretty unsightly, the top of the radiator. So I got this piece from Brothers Trucks. Actually took 2 tries because the FedEx guy wasn't friendly to the first one, but it's a pretty nice piece. It covers it up, kind of hides all that ugliness. It comes primer black. I'm gonna have a powder coated satin black when we do the valve covers, but yeah, finishes off pretty nice. Obviously it bolts down with these 2 bolts here. Pretty nice little cover. I like it.
Nice. Yeah, I was commenting the smudges on the valve covers are triggering my OCD.
Yeah, it's
but
fine.
they're getting powder coated.
Yep, and don't mind the throttle cable that Dave probably zoomed in on. It's extremely temporary, just so I could start it. So
Didn't even notice.
it just was something I had laying around that was able to activate the throttle from inside the cab.
No zip ties will be used with this throttle cable when it's
No, I
permanent.
don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no guarantees, but that's the plan anyway.
Nice. All right, well, it is a week and a day after this cab showed back up here at Burns Brothers Performance. It's got stuff bolted to it. It's got wires and hoses running through it. And we showed you all that. We're gonna have George tell us a little bit about how it's gone. You've seen the results of it, but how's it been going, George? It's been a whole 8 days.
It's been actually going pretty good. A few little hurdles, couple little wiring issues, just from the previous paint job. Not this one, but the one before this. They left the wiring harness in the truck when they painted the dash, and covered up some wires with some paint, the terminals and stuff. So finally diagnosed that, figured that out. So basically everything on the dash is pretty much done. Got a couple screws left to put into the bezel, but dash lights, turn signals, tack, fuel gauge, the AC's all hooked up, stereo, except for speakers, that's all done. As you saw in the opening there, the MSD's all wired in the glove box. There was an existing hole in the glove box, so I just reused that to run the wires through. Got new pads and trim on all the pedals, firewall pad. I do have to get a new carpet kit. This hole here, actually, I have to move the hole for the transfer case 2 inches forward because we moved the engine forward 2 inches, so this hole will be exposed. So, and it had bucket seats and a console in it before, so so these holes will be deleted. So new carpet kit going in. Still got a few things to do. Still got to put the headliner in it, and then this is going to get carpeted back here. Even though it gets a speaker box and all that stuff, but I want to carpet all that around the corner and cover all that up in sill plates, and got a little bit wiring here for the steps. Yeah, it's I'm happy with it. It's coming together really good. So,
well, it's the day of the Daytona 500. Your work here is done for the week. I think you ought to open a beer.
Should. I will also say a disclaimer: the steering wheel's just sitting on here. We don't need any comments about the gap in the steering column.
I hadn't noticed that either.
Somebody would.
Yep.
It is a tilt. It works really nice. So
Brett noticed it.
Pretty nice piece.
He's waving over there.
Yeah. I'm sure the owner of the truck noticed it too. He just hasn't said anything to me yet.
Yep.
But yeah, it literally just pulls right off. It's not bolted on. I did it that way so I could work on it easier. But yeah, wipers all hooked up. Cigarette lighter works, so you can charge your phone or whatever you want to do. So I love it when all that stuff comes together and everything works. Everything should work, you know, and that's the way you want to put them together. Everything should work.
It's probably a no smoking truck, but I don't really know.
But
so.
you still want to charge your phone.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Oh, and the horn does work too. I don't have the pieces in there right now, but the horn is hooked up. So
nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. Sunday fun day. Everybody enjoy the Daytona 500. Have a good one. Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, it's coming together. Stay tuned, because next video, it should have doors for sure, maybe fenders on it. So I'm excited for that.
Right on. Thanks, George.
Yep.
To get that new information, react to it.
Nope, leave it. Sit. Hey, leave it. Here.
Great idea. Bring the dog into it.
Sit.
Oh, that's...
Must be Mickey's.
Nope. Here. Here.
Look at that. They're slamming.
Take it.
This could be the best footage. This could be the best footage I've ever captured.
Why?